Buongiorno, everybody. So we are here today. It's the Epiphany. So this is actually the last day of the Christmas season in Italy. And this is the day that the three wise men arrived to see the baby Jesus. So this is the 12th day. Someplace like in England, I think they refer to it as the 12th day. In Italy, it is the Epiphany, and it is a big deal because the Befana comes. Befana is Italy's equivalent to Santa Claus. They do have Babbo Natale, Father Christmas, but the real time that they get a little gift, they don't overdo Christmas over there the way we do here, all commercial and everything. It's a gift or two, and it is typical on the day of the Befana to receive something in your stocking or your shoe. So you put your, your stockings up, and actually shoe is St. Nicholas. Befana is the stockings. And they make things like, they'll make cookies in the shapes of stockings. They'll make cookies in the shapes of a broom, because La Befana, let me tell you really quickly the story. The three wise men were traveling to find the baby Jesus at Christmas. They were following the star. And, they were telling people along the way, and the Befana was a lady. She was sweeping her stoop or something to that effect. I wasn't there. But they told her to come along to see the baby Jesus, and she's like, oh, I have too much to do. I've got cleaning to do. And she was sweeping and cleaning and all this. Finally, when she was done and they were long gone, she set out with her gifts to find the baby Jesus, but of course she was too late. So the story and legend is that every year she goes out still searching for the baby Jesus, finding, the Christ child, as they say, in every child. So she goes and gives gifts to every child. So this is the day. Today is the feast of La Befana, and in Italy it's a celebration. And usually they celebrate with a nice big lunch. It could be anything. A lasagna. Pasta al forno, pasta in the oven. That's a lasagna, or some other big pasta dish, something homemade. It's a big hearty meal usually. And then there are certain treats and sweets that are associated with this day. Now, there are some that are really traditional, and this is a little Italian recipe. This one's, I don't know, the tradition here in this thing I'm going to make now is that it's typical Italian, and it's in the shape that's appropriate for the day. It's going to be in the shape of a sock, but we're going to do it really cute. So I'm going to show you. So we're going to make a pasta frolla. So basically, it's a pastry dough, and it's very, very quick and easy. So I already measured it out today because I want to cook it. And while it's cooking, I want to talk to you for a minute. It doesn't take long to cook at all because it's thin. So I'm just going to move this over. Just moving my blade over so I don't spill. So we've got 200 grams. Now this is a completely Italian recipe, so I'm going to try to give it to you, and I will, in the next day or so, I will write it out. But pay attention here. 200 grams of flour, which is about a cup and a third, approximately. So I tried measuring it out as I went. I always do. But believe me, for people who always ask, oh, what's the conversion? I'm getting my little pourer. This makes life so much easier. Pour it in here. You can look it up online. How much? Ask Google. How much is 200 grams? Okay, we're putting in 80 grams of sugar. Now, one stick. It says that it's it is 113 grams. We need 80 grams. I already cut it. I was like perfect. It came out to like 81. If your butter is softened, you can do this by hand. But if not, just throw it in the mixer real quick. That side. We're going to do 1 egg. Get that stirred up. We're going to throw our 1 egg in, and our just a half a teaspoon of baking powder. You don't want this to get too puffy. It's pastry dough, but a little fluff to it. I just want it to come together. Yeah, it's going to come together here in a second. Sometimes in the mixer it'll kind of get more grainy, and then you got to kind of squeeze it together because it's a butter and just a little bit of liquid in it, but hang on. All right, so it's still grainy, but I can see that the butter has completely separate it out, and I'm just gonna pull this off, squeeze it together. I've got this nice ball of dough. Get the few loose pieces out of here. Okay. Of course, there's always a little butter on here. Never throw anything away. You know, it's everyone's like a little bite. And you know that whenever you finish something that tastes good and you want that last little bite, it could have been left on this. Just saying. Okay, so we're going to I'm just gonna put this. This is it's almost like a, you know, it's a buttery pastry dough. And what we're gonna do here, we're gonna roll this out into two. Let me just get all the crumbs up. Got two pieces. And this is just a little something like if there's 2 or 4 of you making a little treat, if not, double it up. But we're just gonna, or it's a nice little piece just to add to your table of many treats. You can do this at Christmas. Now for the Befana, you can do it in a different shape for a different day. All right, so we're going to just flatten this out a little. Keep my cute little tray here. This is my half sheet. You know, I'm going to put a little piece of parchment on it. Because for today, since this is going to be one big thing, I mean, not one big thing, but like one, instead of a bunch of cookies, I'm going to lay this in here. I'm going to keep it from rolling the other way. Whoop. I like to put the roll the other, you know, put it down so that way it doesn't curl at the edges. Okay, so I take my handy dandy rolling pin and might need a smidge of flour, just so it doesn't stick. It's not gonna be that big. I could put a piece of paper down too, but this is nice and sturdy. So what we're doing here is I'm gonna roll this out. There we go. Not too thin, not too thick, you know, just a nice sturdy. And then we're gonna, now you can cut out a template on a piece of paper, on a piece of cardboard, or you can just do it freehand. I'm just gonna do it freehand. So I'm gonna cut the top, and then I'm gonna make this into the shape. Now some people will do a template so that way the top and the bottom are exactly the same. You know, me, I'm gonna try to wing it because that's the way I do it. Maybe I'll just stick this one on top of the other one. Okay, and you'll see I have a little stocking. I'm gonna set this aside here for a second because I am probably gonna sit it on top of the other one. That way I have 2 pieces. And you can make this as big as you want. You know, this is just like a, so this is basically a little filled tart. Okay. Already got those pieces cut out flat. So I'm going to put this, made the bottom one a smidge bigger. Okay, we'll put that on there. Oops, I broke my toe off. Oh, I love dough. It's so forgiving. It's on the bottom anyway. So I've got my little boot here in the pan, or boot, my stocking. Now I'm going to do the fun part. I'm going to take some Nutella and I'm going to spread it in the middle. You can use Nutella. You can use, woo, love Nutella. You can use marmellata, marmalade, jam, you know. Now you don't want to spread it all the way to the edges. You want to spread it all in the middle, in the shape, you know, but just leave a little border at the end because that's where we're going to close it up. And just a thin layer. This is not to be overdone. Let's see if I can do this without getting my fingers in it. Because if I get my fingers in the Nutella, I'm going to have to lick my fingers and I'm going to have to go wash my hands. You know, so got to do it the best way we can and be all nice and legit here. All right. All right, so now I'm gonna take this piece, I'm gonna stick it on, here, let me show you what I did though. Here's my little thing. Oops, let me put it the right way. Woo! My little stocking. And now I'm gonna put the top on it. I got a fork. We're just gonna close the edges, you know, just like you would a ravioli. But now we're gonna do something really cute with it. As soon as I get all my edges cooked. And you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. This is what makes it beautiful and rustic and, you know, I don't know. I'm over perfection. There's some things that everybody's always trying to make them, you know, restaurant quality. What is restaurant quality, really? You know, I've been to some restaurants where stuff looks beautiful, tastes like crap. So I'm just saying. Okay, so now, next step, you can see I've got it all sealed around the edges. A very important ingredient. Yeah, my little bin here. Oh, I have one open. Some chocolate chips. Because this is going to make it really cute. So watch. Even though it's a stocking, it's going to be like a lace-up stocking. We're going to take a couple of these. We're going to put a couple down the top to make it look like lace holes, you know. We'll just do like 4 of them. I'm going to put a couple down here at the toe like it was sewn up, you know. Isn't that cute so far? I love little cute things like this. Okay, now, get that chocolate stuff out of the way before I start sticking my fingers in it. We're gonna put that aside for 1 second. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take some of these pieces let's see if it's, I'm gonna have to cut them up. Oh, I got some little, so we're gonna take some pieces like this. We're gonna cut some little strings and make some laces. So since I already had this kind of rolled out, even though I just kind of crunched it a little, I'm just gonna roll it flat. I'm gonna cut some little skinny pieces. You can roll them, but this is kind of a dryish dough, so it's kind of, I mean, you can, let's see how it rolls. I guess you could roll it. It is rolling pretty nice. So you can either roll it, like I just did, and make a lace, or you can cut it, like I just did, and make a lace. So since I rolled the other one, let's cut a couple more. Okay. And then we're just going to take these little laces we made. They don't have to all be the same size. It doesn't matter because we're just going to kind of crisscross them at the top. You know, just make it look like it's a little lace hanging out of the tippy top here. And then a couple pieces that are like X'd over the pieces here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, isn't that cute? And if you really want to do something cuter, I mean, you could put like a little raisin or a cherry or cranberry or something at the end of each lace if you want to make it kind of, you know, finished off laces to make them. I'm just going to roll the ends a little bit, but try not to make them too pointy because then they're smaller and they'll burn. But I'm just going to cook it like that because it's actually going to show, even though, you know, it'll get a little maybe that part will get a little crispy, but it'll still work. And it's going to be really cute. And it's just a simple little thing. When I'm going to throw this in the oven right now. When I'm done with it, when it comes out, I'm just going to dust it with a little powdered sugar, or you could put some sprinkles on it. I'm kind of over sprinkles now. I've had enough sprinkles for the holiday. So I'm just going to powdered sugar mine. Now I have a little bit of extra. So I think I'm just going to, for fun, because these are the kind of things moms do while that's cooking. Just put a little teeny bit of flour here. So whenever you have extra pie dough, pie crust, pasta frolla. So this is like American pie crust, but it's got a little bit of sugar in it. My regular pie crust doesn't, it's more buttery. But any of them, a buttery one, a savory one, a sweet one, you just take it and you can make little teeny treats out of it for yourself. Because you know everybody else devours all the good stuff, so then you end up with nothing in the end. So you can do something like this. I'm going to try to square this off a little. Roll it out a little more so it's kind of more even. Now I'm going to cut this into little teeny triangles. Okay. If you cut it in half and then crisscross, you're getting little triangles into each other. So now I've got all these little triangles, right? So I'm going to leave it like this. I'm going to take a little bit of my raspberry jam, which I love. My little marmellata. Actually, it's probably better if I use a spoon. I'm going to use my little teeny espresso spoons. Just take a little dab in each one. Okay, take your little triangle. You might want. You could spread the whole thing, but then it does get messy. So you can just take your little triangle with your little dab of jam in there. That's probably too much, actually. It's going to ooze. You don't want them oozing because then you use it all up. And then just roll them up into little teeny, like mini croissant-y kind of crescents. And then just bake those. And they're like little cookies, but they're not too sweet. You know, I use a, reduced sugar. It's only the sugar that comes from the fruit in it. Jam, or when I make my own, I put next to nothing. You could even put you could melt down cook down some frozen strawberries or blueberries and make like a little fruit compote and put that in the middle. There's so many cool ideas. But just make these and then make a bunch of those and you cook those up. Okay. I knew there would come a point where I had to lick my fingers. But anyway, we might as well just keep making these. You can do them with Nutella. You can do them with cinnamon sugar. You can use pretty much anything. Pistachio cream, a little bit of sweetened ricotta, almost like a cannoli. Anything you want to fill this. Oh, look at this. I left one big piece. Let's miss that triangle. Of course, you could make this dough and make a whole batch of these, but it's more fun making the big thing and then having these little things put aside in the corner in a little dish up high so nobody else sees it and it's just for you. Yeah, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, peeps. I'm just telling you, sometimes you have to take care of you. So while I'm doing this, I want to tell you a little bit about what we're doing this year, and you're going to do it with me. January is named January because of Janus, Janio, the Roman god of beginnings and endings. Janus had two heads, so he could look forward and look backward, or whichever way your forward and backward is, backwards and forwards. Basically still being able to see the old year, but being able to see the new year. Well, we're gonna take last year and we're gonna learn from it and we're gonna make this new year better. So we're gonna create some new habits. So one of them, I've already told you guys, we're gonna start eating healthy, everybody. Not start, we're gonna continue. We're just gonna make it better. We're not going on diets. Crap, that's a bunch of baloney and it dissolves in a month. We're just gonna start creating new habits. Okay, yeah, this isn't the epitome of health here, but it is a celebration. So if we always celebrate the right way, then we're cool with kind of not necessarily having too many sweets the rest of the time. Because we know every month there's some feast or festival in Italy to celebrate. And I'm sure in whatever your culture or faith is, there's some feast or something going on every month. So let's look forward to the feasts, and the rest of the time, let's just be normal. So one of the things I wanted to bring up was, let's take care of ourselves, whether you're, a mom, a woman, a man, a kid, a teenager, a college student, whoever you are. There's always some cool things. Okay, sorry, I'm done. Gotta lick the fingers. There's always something fun to do. Create some traditions that will become, or start things that will become traditions. So today, you see me a little dressed up. I'm wearing this pearls. It's like a woven pearl necklace. This was my grandmother's. This was Nonna's. Of course, look what I do. I got flour on me. Every now and then I'll put it on, and it makes me think of her. Anytime I see this type of a necklace, it makes me think of her. So this is a tradition and something that evokes a memory. Why don't you create your thing? what do your kids or will your grandchildren or your great-grandchildren, whoever you get to know down your line someday, what are they going to remember about you? Not just who you are, but what else is going to evoke? I mean, of course, your persona, your love and all that kind of stuff is critical, but what are the things they're going to see or hear or smell? So we're always talking about the kitchen, and that's crucial. My grandmother always wore this kind of apron, tucked up under here, with her little, she was this cute, short little person. And, she'd have her aprons on. And once in a while she wore a bib apron. I like a bib apron because I'm always dropping stuff and getting it all over me. But today I wore this one that actually, I think my mom made this one for me years ago. And it's cheerful because it's got strawberries all over it. Anyway, this is the kind of apron my grandmother wore. She was almost always wearing either her gold chain with her gold medallion on it. And she'd throw these pearls on. Now, she wasn't wearing the pearls every day when she was cooking. These were actually handmade, I think, by a friend of hers. They're some kind of woven little twisty thing, but they're cool. So anyway, there's other ways to evoke memories. Obviously, taste from our kitchen, smells from our kitchen, but also visuals. If I see somebody wearing a necklace like this, or if I just pull mine out of, or if I'm just going through my jewelry box and I see it, it evokes a memory. I used to love, and I've got tons of them, so my goal this year, I'm going to start wearing more of them. For me, long necklaces kind of get in the way of what on my work, so it's not something I do a lot. But pins, brooches. I always hated that word, never could say it right. It's spelled brooch, and I've heard people say that, but I know it's a brooch. Anyway, whatever. It's a pin. This one today is a little bumblebee. And bumblebees are such a sign of life because they are constantly spreading their little, spreading the pollen around, and they are fertilizing everything. So they are bringing life to this planet. So today, it's January, I decided to put my little bumblebee on. What's your bumblebee? Like that. What's your thing? What's something that is going to be a visual that you're going to create that one is going to maybe dress you up a little just by wearing a pin, even if you're by yourself in the house, or if somebody comes to the door and they're going to say, oh, don't you look nice? Whether it's the mailman dropping off a package or the UPS guy, or it's, or the ice machine making noise and popping in and visiting, whatever it might be, put your best forward. No, it doesn't matter what anybody thinks. This is not for them, but it's for how you feel about yourself. Maybe the reaction you get is going to be a smile because some little kid's going to see your bumblebee when you're at the grocery store and look, mommy, a bumblebee, that kind of crap, It's just like, I love it. It makes me happy. I'm always smiling at little kids that go by because I think they're so cute. And there'll be some kid sitting in the cart and the mom's back is to me and I'm sitting here going like this, and the kid's laughing. Finally, the moms all turn around. They're like, oh, hi, Do that. Be happy. Share it. So find your bumblebee, whether you want to wear a pin, because I've got a ton of them. So you're going to start seeing them on my shirt or my aprons. I'm going to start decorating my aprons. I am getting my new logo put on some aprons soon, though, coming up in the near future. But I'm still going to wear a pin or something. Or a necklace, or it might be earrings, or it might be a hair doodle, or whatever it is. Find your thing and start finding that little thing that makes you happy and start doing it, using it, displaying it, whatever. My Christmas village is still up. Today is the last day of the holiday, of the Christmas season, so to speak. We are going to put the rest of the Christmas stuff away, but I'm going to leave my village up for a little longer. So, because it makes me happy. Sometimes I go in the room in the dark and I just put all lights off and I just have it all lit up, and it just, I don't know, for some reason, those little lights and the little houses and my little people just make me happy. Find your thing that makes you happy, because when you're happy, you share happiness. Remember, put on your own oxygen first before you're helping someone else put their oxygen on. You got to be smiling on the inside before you can smile on the outside. Let's check on our stocking. Oh my goodness. Oh, that smells so good. And guess what? It is, the laces are already just lightly brown, so it is just about ready. So I'm going to move these little doohickeys over because I decided to just put them on the same tray when that comes out so I can pay attention to them. I didn't want to put them in now because these are little and they'll burn and then I'll forget, and then we'll get off I'll sign off and I'll have burnt cookies. So I'm just gonna move these over, clean off my little counter here. And in a second, I'm gonna pull that thing out of the oven and share it with you. So anyway, while I'm waiting on that last, one thing I wanna bring up to you real quick is that it is January and we are all itching to go places. So I'm going to, this next couple days, finally gonna do it, because every time I was planning on doing it all fall, the news was saying that this thing is lasting. There'd be surges in the COVID. Everybody's nervous, everybody's scared, all the borders are closed. I'm gonna go ahead and set my Italy trip dates for the summer. I'm not gonna do any spring ones, that's too soon, but I'm gonna set dates for the summer and for the fall. And I came up with this great idea. Everybody who gets a date in the summer picks up an alternative backup date for the fall. So that way you are set. You have a reserved spot, summer or fall. If summer, ends up bailing and we can't go to Italy because their borders are still closed to us or something's surging, or you decide you don't want to, you're nervous, you got a spot in the fall. So that's my plan, because I really do think by fall we'll be good to go. But by summer, we're going to hope for. So right now, I'm going to set the dates and we're going to start praying. Pray, all those things, Everybody pray with me, because prayer works, and in multitudes of us praying, it will work. I swear, I believe it. So anyhow, I'm going to set the dates for the Italy trip, so you can watch dorinaskitchen.com in the next week or two, and you will see the dates, because on there it says, we're on hold. But I'm going to set the dates for the new trips. Also, you can pay attention here, because the minute I set them, I'll let you guys know on live. Anyway, and then if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. I broke 1,000, so I'm actually at 1.01 something. That's so exciting. It just makes me happy, because I feel like I'm getting this back to the table message out to more people, and that to me is so important, and that's the reason I'm doing all of this. Also, exciting news, I think, hope, pray. I should be getting my new laptop today. My old one died. I spilled water on it. It wasn't fixable. They tried. They did save my data though, so they have my laptop as of yesterday, and they're putting my data on it, and they're waiting for a phone call so I can go pick it up. And then I can start getting my recipes up quicker and easier, because I just cannot do this crap on a phone, when I'm writing a lot of stuff. Let's take our goodie out of the oven. Whoop. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. Okay. Isn't that adorable? So I've got this cute little boot. I got my laces. I got my little buttons, or my lace holes, or whatever you want to call them. And basically all I'm going to do eventually is just slice it in little strips, and everybody can have a little piece of it. And it's a little Nutella treat. It will be really cute. It'll be really cute with a little powdered sugar sprinkled on top. I mean, if you wanted to get fancy sometime and you wanted to make a little frosting and glaze it, or if you wanted to make a little frosting after it cools off and put a little border on it or design it, that's purely up to you, easy enough. But this is so cute. This is tasty as it is, little rustic treat, and it's just, I don't know, it's just adorable to sit on the table. And we're gonna have this for dessert today, our little strip with our little coffee after dinner. Because we do dinner, since everybody's working from home, we do our dinner Italian style here, midday, mezzogiorno, so we have our meal, and then usually it's my pasta dish of some sort, Today we're gonna have a little bit extra. I'm making some pasta, making some chicken, because today we're having a special day, because it's the Festa della Befana, or it's the Epiphania. Uh-oh, somebody's at the door. Well, on that note, I'm going to leave you guys and let you go. It's just a package. I'll get it later. And we will continue all these New Year's goodies this week. Don't forget, I'm going to have a 5-day challenge coming up soon to get your kitchens prepared for the new year. So just I need a few more days to finish getting it all set up. So I will put a registration thing up for that, because it's going to be a special Facebook group. We're going to have this wonderful challenge. And basically, I'm going to come live to you like 15 minutes a day. We're going to talk about a few things, how to get your kitchen organized and ready to always be a back to the table kitchen. All right. So I will see you guys next time with something new and fun. I have some really great dishes planned for you over the next couple of weeks, so I'm really, really excited. Remember, it's January, but we're going to look forward. Use the backward to propel us forward and create your new habit, whether it's your necklace or your earrings or your brooch or your boots, whatever it might be, you know. It could be that you're going to start tucking your, you know, the guys are going to start tucking their pants, their jeans into their boots like in the 80s, or, you know, whatever it might be. Anyway, gotta go. See who's at the door. Love you guys. See you next time. Ciao.